Okay, here we go. A bit more barbel fishing. I am absolutely spoiling myself, but I'm down for it. We'll get these rods out and as always, have a bit more of a chat about what we're doing today. Might as well start with a tip. So it might look like I've got 2 rods fishing already, but I don't. You might have seen on my time lapse that I put both my rods out, and what I was doing there was just testing to see how much lead would hold bottom. It's something I see in all the Facebook groups and Instagram as well. It's always like, oh, what weight do I need to hold bottom here, there, everywhere? And it's so hard to answer because if a river's up or down, it will vary. But all I can say is, whilst you're setting up, chuck a rod out if you're not sure, put it on the rest as if you were fishing, and whilst you're setting everything up, if you're using 2 rods, whilst you're setting your other rod up, you can get an idea if it's going to bump round or not. And if it does, just put a heavier one on. So start lower. I put a couple of 3 ounces out, they've held fine. If they shift a bit, I've got some 4s with me, and yeah, that's kind of what I carry in Yorkshire, is 2 to 4 ounces. When I go down the Trent, it's more like 4 to 6. Anything more than that, and I'm not fishing. Yeah, right. Let's get that other rod set up. Well, hey, there we go. That's 2 rods out on an awesome Yorkshire river, looking for some barbel, chub, bream, whatever. We'll take the barbel though. And yeah, good morning. Welcome to the DanGoesOutdoors YouTube channel. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, feel free to subscribe. Then my videos go straight in your inbox and you don't have to search every time. And as I like to say, I like to give a reason to subscribe, because you don't have to, you can just look for me each time, but it helps me out a bit. And yeah, I'm quite motivated by the numbers. So there we go, we're out, we're fishing. And it's quite early, you know. I got up, well, I set my alarm for 4. I'm not going to say I got up at 4, but set my alarm for 4. Rods are out. It's just gone 2 minutes past 6, so it's pretty good going. This place is a little bit further from home, hence the early wake up. And I'll probably fish until about 4 this afternoon, kind of early afternoon. Can't stay into the evening, which is a shame. That's when barbel really turn on. And you know what, actually, credit where credit's due. I had the choice whether to come early and go home early, or come late and stay late, and I chose to do the early because yeah, I want to lend a bit of a helping hand around the house. Don't want to be out all day, you know, that would be taking the mick. So there we go, I am well happy. I'll explain my rigs, baits, all that as we go. I'm gonna put a bit of bait out now, hope those barbel come along. Just pinging a few small boilies out. That was a bit, that. Yep. Chucking them a fair bit upstream, because it's a bit deeper out there. Oop. With the flow and everything. And then I'll put some 8mm carp pellets out. And I've got some halibuts as well, actually. Because bigger pellets, I think, will get to the bottom better and stay there better. On a river like this, like 4s and 6mm, I think will just disappear. I tend to feed in kind of a line, just in line with and slightly upstream of my top rod. So then as it falls, hopefully they'll settle over it and my bottom rod. And if a few go a bit further downstream, it doesn't matter, it's a bit of a trail for them. There we go, that's the boilies. Yes, I do have alarms on. With the early start, I'm probably going to nod off at some point, so I don't care about I'm using cart rods and alarms. They're light cart rods. They're as light as a heavy barbel rod. It doesn't bother me one bit. I know it bothers some of the people watching, but I don't care. I both carp fish and barbel fish and pike fish and perch fish, all that. I ain't carrying around a load of different setups. Yeah, and if I nod off, those alarms will wake me up with a barbel on. Let's hope. We're in. I think it's either a chub or a bream, but we're in. Oh, I don't know about this. Quite a big bream. Quite a big bream, to be fair, but not what we're here for. Okay, a bit of a mid-morning update. It's just gone 10:30, which means I've been here 4.5 hours or so. And yeah, that's roughly halfway through the time I'm going to spend here, give or take an hour. And nothing's really happened. I had that bream. I've had a couple of bangs since then, but not much. And the wind has really got up. It's actually quite chilly down here. And the water's come up a touch as well. So I think I'm going to retreat back up the bank, which is, you know, no big deal. But yeah, a bit annoyed because last time I fished here, it was during the day and I had something like 6 barbel. I think by now I would have had 2 or 3. But yeah, I had kind of heard it be fishing a bit spotty up here. So yeah, anyway, we only need 1 fish to make the day. 1 nice barbel will do it. So I'll hang in there and hope one of those rods goes. It's a good job I moved. Them waves would have swamped me. Well, I'm about to do what are my last casts of the session. I can't believe we've gone all day for 1 bream. And this wind is absolutely savage now. It's 40 plus miles an hour. Maybe that's what's done it in, I don't know. But yeah, we'll get these out. Big paste wraps now to try and crank up the attraction out there. Hope for 1 last bite. Well, even after giving it an extra half hour, I've still not caught. And although technically not a blank, without a barbel it does kind of feel like a blank. Well, we'll come back and do it again another day. No bait on that. There we go, we are fishing. It's 2 weeks later from that session where, let's face it, I as good as blanked, and that was about 5 swims that way. So I've come back, and in the meantime I've been given a little bit of a tip that there's a couple of good spots here. Unfortunately, the one I was planning on fishing, someone's in. So what I decided to do was come 2 swims downstream. Could be a barbel. You guys getting this? Go on. Be a barbel. Oh, first cast. Well, first cast with that rod anyway. Boom, weird bite, just rocking and then nothing. And I was looking at it like, well, what's going on? I just noticed the slack line was bellowing out to my left there. So I wound. There's a fish on. I thought maybe it was a bream, chub, but it's just sort of a smallish barbel. But yes, we've got one. Okay, here we go, barely an hour in, and we've got one. Not a huge one, but a reasonable one. You know, it's not a small fish, is it? Let me show you. I hooked it in the water and gave it a bit of time while I was, you know, sorting my mat and things out, my camera, so we always get a little bit of a rest anyway because I'm always sorting bits out. But the fish is kicking, so you can see it's doing well. I'm saying this because it's a little bit warmer today. I know people get concerned, and rightfully so. Yeah, that's a nice fish, and I asked the guys at work before I came out how many fish I think I'll catch, and Lottie said 4, Jake said 1, Sophie this morning, she said 2. So far Jake's winning. Nice, let's hope Lottie wins in the end. Or we beat all of them. Nice, right. Let's get it back and let's get that rod back out. Brilliant. Well, the things I would have done for this fish on that last session. Man, awesome. Brilliant. Well, a really funny thing's just happened that I've never seen before. Thought I'd share with you guys for all you nature lovers out there. A swarm of bees just went by over the far bank, and I actually heard it first. I thought it was a plane or something. Just black cloud going over there. Just whoom. I've never seen that before. That was amazing. Wow, that was really cool. Glad it wasn't this bank. Can you see me? Are we on? Yes! Nothing happening for a good couple of hours. An upstream rod just slowly went over there. Must be a barbel. Bit of a better one, that. Hey, this is a much better one. In fact, this wouldn't look out of place on a Trent. It's one of them sort of breeze block ones, big head. Nice. 5 or 6 pounds, probably 6 I'd say. That's really cool, and you know, we'd had a couple of hours, 2-3 hours there of not really much going on. It's actually just tying up another hook link. And that rod just hooped over real slow, like whoom. And there it is, fought proper hard. and that's cool. Now interestingly, boats have been going by a lot, and twice I picked up this rod, lowered it and put it back on the rest after boats went past. So it just goes to show it doesn't really affect the presentation. Nice, so we're up to 2. Brilliant. Right, a couple of pictures of this one I think, and we'll get it back. Good. Back in the net, that one. So as I mentioned, I was just tying up a hook link when that rod went off. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chuck a couple of worms out, just for half an hour or so, just to see if that's what they're really after, because worms can often really sort a moody swim out. And last time I was here I thought maybe worms would have done it, and I've had these for ages, and my last 2, so they're just going to go out for half an hour and we'll see if it works. Just 1 rod. All you guys that hate 2 rods, here we go, just 1 rod. Well, the worms did nothing, so they've come in, and what I'm going to do is put both rods back out with the boilies and the pellets on. And what I always do is thread a PVA bag down the hook link. And what I've done on this one, on my upstream rod, is I'm double bagging. There we go, Bilbo double bagging. So got my normal broken boilies with a few pellets on the bottom there. And then just because I fancy putting a little bit more bait out, I've put a smaller one of just 6mm halibuts on top. Underneath that, I've got a size 8 with a paste wrap pellet underneath, and that's what's been doing the bites so far. Although I am keeping a couple of mini boilies on my other rod, because that does me lots of bites as well. And yeah, I'm very confident in either of those. So that's ready, that's what it looks like. That just gets loop to loop onto my lead clip, put out there, and yeah, it's worked today. Something going on out there now, isn't there? Oh, it's ducks. Whack, whack. It's about 5:30 now, and I'm only going to give it maybe a couple more hours or so. And conditions have changed a bit. The river's come up about 1 foot or so, maybe. Where I stood releasing those barbel earlier is under about 1 foot of water. And it's got a bit more swirly out there. There's some more foam coming down, a bit of stuff. And I think I need to up my lead size, so I've gone from 3 ounces to 4 ounces. Don't think I need to do anything drastic like going in full on flood rigs or whatever. I'm just going to up the lead so I can keep them out there in the zone, because I had to recast earlier with just 3 ounces on. It did swing right round before it settled, and you know, I did just catch a chub on it, so it will work, but I want to be out there where I caught the barbel. What is that all about? Well, that small chub wasn't exactly the crescendo I'd been waiting for, but it'll have to do. I'm going to wind in and get out of here.